Here we go. Here we go. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. You are the first one in chat today, at least for my audience. All right, welcome everybody. As you come on in, don't forget to check in so you can get credit for attending this lovely workshop for today. We are going to be getting into some programming animation stuffs. You know the deal. How's your day going, everybody? How's your projects going? Feel free to drop that in chat, how your progress is. Yeah, my head's kind of empty right now, so sorry if I don't say too much right now. I'm still kind of warming up. Oh, okay. So, today's your first day off of work since the beginning of the event. Ah, oh my gosh. Okay. Well, welcome. I appreciate you for your perseverance in getting through the work week to finally get off of work and get in some good hacking. I'm so glad you're able to join us. And I am honored to be your first stream, assuming this is the first stream. If not, I'm still happy that you're here. Yeah, if you want to still hack something together, today's plan is to build out like an animation, and then we're going to show you how to integrate this animation into whatever website you have. So my past few workshops, which you didn't have to be at, were just about trying to figure out how to make your portfolio website be a bit more unique. And I think animations add a lot of character and flavor. Bunny Short Shanks, hello there. So yeah, as usual, all of the slides that I make, they're going to be available in the Discord announcement, and so you can follow along there. There's not going to be too much on the slide deck today because it's going to be much more of a build today. But yeah, let's get started. Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm a coach at MLH, and I teach, and I also enjoy a good Star Wars thing, indie games, and eating lettuce. Um, let's get into it. What type of workshop is this? Yeah, we're going to be building animations P5. We're going to learn how to design and build them. Then we're going to learn how to integrate them. Wow, I just realized there's a lot of redundancy in this. Normally I use this template, especially when we have a lot of like concept heavy stuff. Today we're just going to, yeah, we're just going to jump right into it. So if you don't know what P5 is, P5 is a wonderful animation library, and it is a very accessible tool. It allows, like, it's used a lot in the classroom. I use it in the classroom, and we can do a lot of really cool animations with it. So here's a cool one that this person made. We're not going to be getting this deep into it, but we are going to try to do a little bit of something. So I've used, let's see. Now in chat, do y'all want to, actually, no, I think it is good for us to dive into P5 and actually play around with the editor. Okay, so um, P5 has a built-in editor that allows us to program things in the browser, which is really neat because we don't have to install anything. But the really funny part is that this whole thing is itself like it's a little website preview over here. So we've got, if we take a peek into the HTML, we can see that there's not a terrible lot going on. We have three scripts. Nope, two scripts, which are the library scripts. We have a style sheet, and then we have the main script, which is going to drive the actual animations of the whole thing. Now, if we were to just run this, we're going to end up with a, I guess, like a canvas element, and that's just going to create like a background of like 220. Now, this thing, it technically runs, what's it called? You can access like all of your usual like JavaScript functions in the actual editor itself, which means if we wanted this to, instead of being 400 by 400 pixels, we could actually make this the whole width. And so we can now create like the entire backdrop as our canvas, which is really neat. And so I guess it depends on what kind of like portfolio animation that we want to be adding. So feel free to drop an opinion in chat. I'm gonna draw out the two options that we have. Option one is we do a kind of background animation. And then option two is we do a, I guess like a character animation. And when I say that, I mean it in the very loose sense of what a character is. So option one is we have maybe like a business card sort of layout for our portfolio site. And then we've got a whole bunch of like shenanigans going on in the background. The other option is we take a more traditional layout. Maybe we have like a lorem ipsum thing going on over here, like about me and all that stuffs. And then we have a animation, little whirly dude over here. Maybe it's like watching around. And then we can have, I guess, the rest of the contents down here. Ba, 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 ba. So any opinions in chat, what it is that we want to be building today? If not, I'm going to opt for doing, honestly, I don't have any strong opinions either. I've been kind of wanting to. Hello, Notre Miche. Howdy. Thanks for joining in. Um, I have an old sketch of a Pac-Man ghost that I've been kind of wanting to plop into a website. And right now it's not really, I guess, like adjusted for that yet. I'll show you what the sketch is, what it currently looks like. And I've been really needing to refactor this, to be honest. I think it'd be really cute to have the Pac-Man ghost just like, let's restart that so that it scales a little better. Yeah. I think it'd be really cute if you have the Pac-Man ghost just like hanging out, not open to TL draw. Uh, I can. I was just planning on using it for a really short thing. Do you really want it? Okay, here, just for you. I'll open up a public one. And if there's any other kinds of like animations that y'all want to do, um, let me know. Hello and howdy. Yes, me too. We do love to see it. I'll just like while we're here, just like hanging out, I'm gonna move this dude aside, and I'm gonna draw in a little Pac-Man ghost because this is what we're gonna end up doing. Oh, that is a terrible ghost. Okay, that looks kind of really skiffed. Yes, Pac-Man. I think it'd be really fun if we spent a bit more time later on, maybe. We did a little combination between the business card layout where we had like a whole like Pac-Man animation going on in the background, like an auto playing thing, and then maybe there's like a I don't know. We can play around with it. Um, Either way, let's get a little bit more into how P5 works. Actually, you know what? I will keep this over here. And then we will build up to it. So we figured out how to make a background. Actually, wait, no, I will actually have this on my off side so I could refer to it. uh, there's, I guess, like a Pac-Man ghost is kind of like made out of a few different shapes. Um, we've got this kind of like half circle shape. We've got a square, and then we've got the triangles for the tail. And then we've also got a couple circles for the eyes. So these are like the very basic shapes of what makes up a Pac-Man ghost. So if we were to kind of code this up, um, I guess what we can do is we can start by just drawing a circle. So we've already got the background. So why don't we just go ahead and draw in a circle? Or I guess I think in no, it is a circle. Okay. So what we can do is we can just, so a circle in P5 takes in 3 parameters. The first one is going to be the X value, the next one's the Y value, and then it's the radius. So if we were to do let X is equal to maybe like 200, let Y is equal to 400, let R is equal to, let's give it a nice 200. So we can see that the x-axis goes right, and then the y-axis goes down. I guess the reason why is because in a website, whenever we build, we always build from the top going down. So if I were to just do this, yoinkaroni, P5 animation canvas. As x gets bigger, it goes this way. As y gets bigger, it goes this way. Okay. Um, So going back to it, is that still the first quadrant? Um, and then I see another comment that says, "Okay, cool, that explains it." Let me know if you have like if I answered your question or not. I'm assuming that your question was answered based off of your second comment. Okay, so the next thing is we're going to need to pop in a rectangle right around wherever this circle is. So what we can do is in P5, it's just rect, and then it takes in 3 arguments, or at least 3 arguments. We could technically feed it the same arguments, and then we'll get a box. But we can see that the square, or I guess the rectangle, is centered off of a different number than the circle itself. So we're gonna need to do some actual maths to make sure that these things, I guess, like are more relative to each other. And so what we can do is we can take the x. Well, I guess we know that we want to get this to the left um, just a little bit, right? And we want to do that by about the radius of the circle. Now, thankfully, we actually already know what the radius of the circle is. So we could just do x minus r, and that should, oh, divide by 2, take us to halfway. And so no matter what the size of the circle is, the square should also then scale to it. So if we're to make this 300 instead, make this a lot bigger, then it scales appropriately, which is really neat. So let's see. Now that we've figured that out, I think the ghost, this looks a little tall for our ghost. So we might actually have to give this another argument to make this a little bit smaller. And the third argument, I guess the third argument for a rectangle is to give it the side length. And then if it only takes 1, then it becomes a square. But if it takes 2, then we can turn it into a full rectangle. So we can just take this, divide by 2, and then it becomes a little bit shorter. I think this is pretty good. So we can move on to maybe making the triangles. Okay. So the triangles are going to be a little bit funky. The way that triangles work in P5 is they take 6 arguments, which is a lot. Explain the XY positioning again. Is the shape center on that point or the top left of the vertex? Fantastic question. So in P5, the circle is based off of the center of, I guess, the circle. So wherever it is that you place the circle, let's just hide this and this for now. Wherever it is that you place the circle, it's going to be right in the middle. So if we were to make another circle at the x and y, and then we make this like a really small number, like 5, we'll see that the center of the circle is, I guess, like the origin point for wherever the positioning is. And I guess an even easier way for us to tell this is if we were to actually map this to the mouse coordinates. So we can actually do that by doing mouse x, mouse y. Oh, you can't really see that really small one. Let's make this a bit bigger. Let's make this like 100. So yeah, if we map it to the mouse, then it is like exactly in the middle. But if we were to do this for the rectangle instead, we'll see that that is based off of where the mouse is. I hope that helps. Let me know in chat if I need to elaborate further or come up with another example. Okay, so now we've got our rectangle. We've triangles are really funny because of the whole 6 coordinate system. So what we can do is we can do, awesome, glad to hear it. We can do x1. Well, I guess, okay. So in a triangle, I guess they're kind of grouped in pairs. So the first 2 arguments refer to the xy coordinates of the first point of the triangle, and so on. So if we wanted this to be, I guess, like maybe at 200, 400, then the first point of the triangle is going to be, I guess, at 200 and 400, which should be right in the middle over here. And then I guess let's just pump in a few other numbers, maybe 300, 500, and 400, 600. So we ended up just drawing a line because everything, I guess, is in that line. So let's actually change this to maybe 500 as well. Okay, so yeah. first two corresponds to this point, second two corresponds to this point, and then the final two correspond to this point. So right now on a, I guess, Pac-Man Ghost, we would need to make at least 3 triangles. The tricky part is that like if we were to do just the triangles, we wouldn't be able to animate it very well, because I guess one option is we do it like this, where this is a right angle right here. This is a right angle right here, and then we have a, I guess, isosceles triangle, right in here, and so we could technically make this one right here a single triangle, but if we want to actually animate it, we're gonna have to have at least 2 frames, because there's going to be another thing that looks like this, where these are also isosceles triangles. Um, and so I think it's easiest if we actually chunk this into 4 separate triangles, so that all we have to do is just flip different triangles in order to get it to actually animate properly. Boop, 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 boop. Is cabbage an okay alternative for lettuce? That is a fantastic question. Cabbage is actually like a lot more dense than lettuce. I don't know if you've ever held like a head of iceberg lettuce versus a head of cabbage, but the head of cabbage is going to weigh a lot more than the lettuces. And so theoretically, if you were to throw it at a wall, the cabbage would have a much chunkier sound. Now, I don't advocate throwing it against a wall. Because that's food waste. You're probably not going to eat it. You throw it against a wall. I will say that if you try to eat a cabbage, you're not going to be able to eat it as fast as if you eat a lettuce. Oh, that's terrible. How are you supposed to partake in the lettuce club? It's the premium club. Cabbages suck for real. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of cabbage. I think it's a little bit easier to cook with, to be honest. But like, you can't make a nice salad with cabbage. Now, unfortunately, cabbages are like really complicated, so we can't like. It's gonna be a little bit difficult to animate that. Cecilia wanted to change to peanuts instead of lettuce. Honestly, if you are, regardless of whether you are team peanut or team lettuce, I think what we need to do is we need to start adding emojis to our names. That way, people will just see like a sudden conspiracy of like just emojis in the names, and then they're a little bit of healthy competition. I think it's more interesting than the just like the color rules thing. Team lettuce, FT dubs. Yes, lettuce. Cabbage. Hey, we appreciate cabbage fans too. This is a wholesome community, and we accept everybody. Blage, pizza, lettuce, peanut butter. That is quite the order. Maybe what if we just let like all 4 of them? What's stopping us from having all 4 emojis? Okay. Uh, I guess on that note, for derailing the awesome jam, no worries. Um, do you think it would be worth the pivot to change this from the Pac-Man ghost to maybe like a Blage emoji? Not emoji, but like a Blage animation. I feel like it might be a fun callback. Lettuce Hater 100. Nah. You can like cabbage and still like lettuce. Make Pac-Man eat lettuce. We could do that too. Uh, I guess the tricky part, it wouldn't be too tricky, I don't think, to make Pac-Man. You know what? Let's ball a little. Let's make Pac-Man. Okay, because I already have the ghost, and so if you want to see the ghost, by the way, you can just look at this. Make the ghosts into a lettuce hater. We are making Pac-Man, right? We can make Pac-Man. Right now what we were planning on doing was just like adding a little animated sprite thing that reacts to like the mouse cursor in a portfolio website. This is pretty peak. I am certainly not opposed to it. I think Pac-Man might be a bit difficult to make from scratch. I've looked at some examples. Actually, I'll just show you some examples. P5 Pac-Man. It's pretty complicated. Let's see if this one works. Yeah, so this is a whole Pac-Man thing. I guess it doesn't have the power orbs. No, but yeah, it's got the whole like life system and whatnot. But like look at all of the files in here. I'm not 10x coder enough to be able to explain what's going on here um on stream. But we can implement elements of this. Yeah, if anybody's interested in this project. It might honestly be fun if anybody wants to get into like game design to like copy this, um, and then actually, I guess we'd have to find out if this is actually like open source or like what the license is on this. I assume everything that's on the P5, like if you can find it on P5, then it should be free. I don't know what the license is for that. But it might be interesting to take this and then make it like a AI bot for the Pac-Man figure itself. And then the Pac-Man just kind of rolls around in the background of the screen. That might be fun. Okay. So as far as the Pac-Man goes, I'm actually going to need to refer to the documentation a bit more. P5 documentation, the reference. So there's a better function for this. It's called an arc. So this right here looks a lot more like Pac-Man. So what we can do is we could try to animate that. So maybe let's yoink this. What's the difference between these and these? Did they just copy this? Oh, still trying. Oh wait, they literally made a Pac-Man for us. Okay, let's joink that in here. Actually, I kind of want to keep the canvas size still. So let's do that. I think it's still healthy to keep the describe button or the describe function in there because we stand our um, accessibility stuffs. Okay, it's just smooth animation. The frame count times 0.1 plus the byte size. I think maybe we should try to stylize this or like remove some frames. Make it more crunchy. Nope, that just made it faster. I think we should make the byte size a bit bigger though. Maybe divide that by 12. That looks a little better. Okay. So what we could also do is Well, I mean, actually, I don't know what else we can do with this. If we were to just constrain it over in this corner over here, I guess we could just like start streaming lettuce into it. That might actually be pretty funny. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to yoink this, and we're going to put this into its own function. We're gonna call it Pac-Man. Bam, bam. Okay, so we got our Pac-Man back. Let's create another function. We'll call it lettuce, because we could actually, in P5, we can actually text things. So we can use the lettuce emoji here. We don't actually have the XY for this yet. So I don't remember whether it's the front or the back. Let's just see if it's in the front. Looks like it's in the back. Okay, Ishishmolen. Let's make this a little bit bigger. I think we need to do font size. Let's look at the reference for this. Text size. Let's make this like 20. Well, we can make it bigger than that. We can make it like 60. Let's make it 64. It's nearly as big as Pac-Man himself. Try adding an eye. Oh yeah, we can do that. Circle. Well, that's at like 50, 50. And then we give it a size of like 20. We need to make this a little bit darker. Let's make this just 0. That's really cursed having it in the center. Okay, so we want to move it to the top right. We're going to need to, actually, I guess, where is the, yeah, okay. It is in the top right. We need to actually make this a little bit bigger. So if I do this, and then we need to actually subtract 10 in order to make it go upwards. Let's try 20. Maybe let's bring this back a little bit, maybe like 7. All right, how are we feeling about this? Oh, the center eye looks like Flappy Bird meets Pac-Man. Yeah, it's a little cursed. 65, 45. I could try that too. So that would be 15 plus or minus 5. Oh, not quite. Okay, how are we feeling about this eye position? I think it's all right. I think the eye seems a little bit big, to be honest. Now I'm making this, I'm doing the addition in here, the math in here for a reason. The main reason is because we actually already have these values right here. And so I can reuse these values right here when I decide to make this a bit more reusable. Because I think it would be useful for us to be able to do X and Y, give it a couple arguments like this. And this makes it easier for us to animate later. So if we were to just go in here, change this, then we could make it so that oh, instead of passing in X and Y, we need to actually pass in the values. 50 and 50. And then now we can replace this with x, y, x, and y. Okay, and it looks the same, which is good. That's what we wanted. The eyes are supposed to be in sync with the bite movements. Yeah. Yeah, you mean like where this eye kind of like goes like this based off of whether the mouth is moving? I think it might be a bit distracting. I think the way that this arc is done, we might need to change it from changing on both sides at the same time to just changing on one side and going down. But then that's different from the original like Pac-Man animation. Or I guess the traditional way of Pac-Man. Because like if we were to look at this, oh, it doesn't even fully close in this animation. Okay, they don't actually have a pause button. I think what we would also need to do is we would also actually need to not interpolate the movement. When I say interpolate, yeah, it doesn't even have an eye. Actually, let's see if Pac-Man animation. Let's see how this person did it. Okay. So, yeah, the eye doesn't move. Blurst Pac-Man. Yeah. Anything that starts to give Pac-Man more style kind of gets a little bit more difficult to look at. I think the way that actually, I guess some of the like box art for Pac-Man um is pretty cool still. We can post the GIF on Figma if you can't click it. Yeah, I can't click it because we stream using StreamYard. And so if I click your comment, it just like highlights it instead. Oh my god. Okay, you got me. That's pretty good. I respect that. Control plus click. Nope. I'd have to look up the thing by hand. I guess I could do that. All right, everybody. I'm gonna flex my ability to type. Oh Lord, here comes the 60. All right, neat. Nito spaghetto. Nom 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 nom. I guess okay. So here's the new plan. Um, Instead of having the ghost up here, we're going to have Pac-Man over here, just eating a stream of lettuce. Yeah, yeah, you know what's up. Monkey type WPM go up. Yeah, I know. I saw the 8 sus thing and I was like, oh boy. Okay. This animation is so, it's kind of sad to look at. Let's see if we can, instead of like, we need to make it so that this thing is less like smooth. This thing needs to be more chunky. I think the way we should do this is the way that I did my Pac-Man Ghost animation, which I'm going to pull up again. So I only have 2 frames for this animation thing. And let's see, the way that we did this, or the way that I'd done this before was, where's my counter? Okay, so I have a clock, which calculates on delta time. So I'm going to just go ahead and yoink that in, because I think that is useful to have. There's no way our Pac-Man was still alive after all that time. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we've got a clock. Cool. How do we use the clock? If t is greater than 100, then it resets to 0. I think that just gives us 100 milliseconds? No. I don't know what delta time is measured in. It gives us some amount of time before it resets to 0. And based off of whether it is greater than or less than 0? Okay, wait. Let's see where we use clock. Bop, bop. Okay, so yeah, if it is greater than 50, then we have 1 animation frame. Otherwise, we do the other one. Okay, cool. So what we can do is we've got the pi thing, we've got start angle, end angle. Let's make this just straight up the byte size. Okay, let's maybe increase the byte size to like double that. Okay, that's a little bit better. And then the end angle, start angle, end angle. Okay, so this is our open mouth. Now we have to have the closed mouth. So if clock is less than 50, then well, let's see. We don't actually need to have this change anymore, so we can turn that into a constant. We can take this, start angle is equal to byte size. Else, we can just make this like closed. What is this fussing about? Speed is not defined in the current scope. Let's see if I did anything special with speed. Speed. Oh, it's just a global constant. Okay, so I'll yoink that. We'll toss that up here. We don't want to worry about speed up. Okay. Now what is it complaining about? T is not defined in the current scope. T, I guess it's just the timer? No, it just deletes itself. Okay. I'll probably need to have just 2 pi. Huh. That is kind of strange seeing it just go completely shut. I think maybe we need to subtract a little. Maybe like Make it a very schmollen. This sign function was easier, honestly. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. How are we feeling about this, though? I think it's okay with right now. Can you show again how you found the Pac-Man library port? The Pac-Man library part? Uh, like the reference? I found that by going to p5.js.org reference, and then I just looked up art. And then at the very bottom of art, it has the Pac-Man example. Yeah. Let me also I'll just paste it in chat for you. Make it easier for you. It's like one of those neon signs that's out in arcade. Yeah. If we really wanted to, I guess we could also have a. Well, they actually do interpolate it a little bit. They have like another in-between frame, which we don't have. It's very, very on or offy. Um, I'm trying to figure out. Do you think it's worth it to re-implement the sign bit instead of doing it this way? Oh, 33. What's up with 33? I don't know what that means. Okay. For now, I think what we need to do next is we need to actually start spawning and moving the lettuce. What does 33 mean? Okay. So I guess what we could do for the animation bit is we could do this in two ways. One is we could make like a stream of lettuce just going into the Pac-Man. And we try to time it so that as soon as it gets eaten, like I guess like some points show up. Or the other option is we could make it so that like the lettuce is kind of following our mouse, and then whenever we bring it over to the Pac-Man just eats it. So I think we should go for the kind of assembly line kind of deal where the lettuce just kind of streams in. um, I think what we should do though now is we should actually start moving this into a website. That way we can just like see how to integrate P5 into our website and make sure we still have time. And then we can continue building the rest of this animation um, in our code editor. So that's the plan. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. So I've already got a new tab open for making a new project. I'm going to put it into my own thing. Repository name. We're going to call this GHW Pac-Man. Yeah, we can make it public. Da, 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 da. We'll pop in Node in here, and we'll pop in the MIT license. Okay, so I'm going to spin up a code space as the usual. Wait for it to spin up. Let's see if my extensions are finally like at a reasonable size now. I've only got the Pythons. I'm guessing there's a bunch more that's going to load in. There it is. Okay, cool. I'm gonna wait until the file icons kind of load in before I start coding. Otherwise, we might run into some problems. Maybe go back and try to figure out what's next. Okay, so we can create a lettuce like that. The next thing is for us to get them to start spawning and then moving to the left. I wonder if... Let's see, what's the best way for us to do this? I think we could make an array of lettuce, and then every time the lettuce spawns... No, let's just make like an array of like 5 lettuce. So we can let lettuces equal this. We might want to go object oriented on this. I'm going to make a new file. We're going to call this lettuce.js. We're going to make this a class. I'm going to call it lettuce. And then we can give it... I forget how constructors in p5 work. Allow me to look at my resources. Yeah, it is constructor. Okay. Constructor. Bam, bam. We just want it to spawn somewhere over to the right. And then we want it to move, or actually, maybe we want the Pac-Man to move left and right. Scared for a second, seeing someone with a single extension. Yeah. I had like 80 something extensions that kept on loading in, and it was really slow. I'll say that. Okay, cool. Yeah, now I've cut it down to 50 extensions. But I've been really having a lot of trouble trying to get these to stop syncing. Like, I'm not sure why C and C++ keeps on spawning in all the freaking time, even though I like removed it. Same with this one. I'm having some problems getting rid of these, like unsyncing them. Okay, so it looks like this thing loaded. So I'm gonna use a build tool that's called Vite. So Vite is useful for building and transpiling code, and I'm going to be using it so that I could set up a local server without having to worry about it. You have 33 extensions? Ah, okay, that makes sense. But what doesn't make sense is that you weren't the first one to say 33. Unless you're trolling me and you're just saying 33 again for the sake of saying it. Okay, npm create Vite at latest. Spawning. We can call this the lettuce portfolio. We're gonna just do vanilla. We're gonna do this in JavaScript. So now we can cd into lettuce portfolio. We can... Actually, let's see what's in here. We can do npm install. The only thing that should be in here is all of the Vite stuff. Yep. Okay. The next thing is, actually, let me look at my references. We don't need anything crazy over here. Okay, let's just clear that. I hope y'all can see this okay. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, let's just npm run dev and see what we're working with. Okay, cool. So this thing is loaded. We've got a basic splash page. Pretty neat. We've got a lot of folders going on over here. We've got a public folder. Let's go ahead and start kind of organizing this a bit more. So we've got our public folder, so that's where all of our assets are going to go. Let's make a thing for scripts. Toss this in there. The index seems to, or our main page seems to rely on that file. That's okay. I mean, honestly, main.js counter blah 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 Vite logo. Oh, right. These scripts might need to go in the public folder just because of how Vite works. Okay, what else do we need to change? Once we can get our actual routes working, then we'll go back to actually programming the thing. CSS needs to go in there as well. Actually, wait, I forget. Do you actually need to have scripts in the public? Let's just run npm build. And we'll see how it builds. Whoop. Could not resolve main.js. Okay, so yeah, let's bring this back out then. Yeah, let's bring that back out again as well. Scripts.main. Could not import that. Okay, so it's back to working again. So if we were to run build, it seems to work all right. Okay, cool. So now that we've actually been able to move our scripts into its own folder, let's actually start doing something about this. So under our main page, In order for us to actually use p5, we're going to need to go in here, excuse me, yoink this script and this script, pop back over here. Let's just go ahead and paste that. Okay, no biggie. We should still be rolling. Okay, next thing is we need to make sure that we actually have a main, and then we have, let's see. So we'll build a main file right here. And then maybe, actually, let's see, script. Actually, no, I already pasted that. Okay, we've got sketch.js, which doesn't exist yet, but we can make it exist. Sketch.js. Pop in here. Whoop. We actually want to just take what we have right now, paste it in here. Okay, cool. Now, the moment of truth is if we were to hide these two, and then we were to go scripts, sketch.js. There we go. So it looks like we've got a little bit of like padding in here, which we will probably need to remove. So let's go ahead and delete. Copy in this one over here. Actually, I mean, this doesn't actually need a lot. I'm gonna just yoink that, and then I'm gonna undo that delete. Where's the CSS? Oh. Did I actually lose the CSS for realsies? Oh my gosh. That's fine. We didn't need it. We can make do without it. Styles.css. I might have spelled it differently. Style. Been wanting to learn Vite for such a long time, but now that I've been getting slopped by Nextauth since the last week, I have no more motivation to learn any other JS framework. I'm sorry to hear that. Honestly, Vite is not too hard to pick up. The main thing is trying to figure out where everything lives, and like should live based off of like public versus, I guess, the local directory. I shouldn't say too much because I actually haven't gotten too far into learning Vite myself. Let's see. I'm going to need to include the. No, not the style thing. What is it? I always forget. This is really embarrassing. I can copy my CSS file. Bruh. Oh, they just imported it. That's why I can't find it. It's not hard. It will make your life easier. It makes everything simpler. And then bam. 504 error on Vercel. No. I think that's yeah. Authentication can be difficult to play with. I imagine that there's probably a Veets template somewhere out there for next auth. Yeah. Uh, I'm gonna just pop this in chat for you, in case that's actually useful for you. Okay. Now I'm gonna go back to the add style.css, please. I'm too lazy to remember how to do this. Yay, thank you. Link. Oh my gosh. Such a brain fart. Okay. Why is this still scaling funny? Next, nothing. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You should hit up the other Ryan. Like, see next time when he's streaming, because he's all about that Next.js. He's probably had to work with a bunch of Next.auth projects. I'm actually so hungry right now. I'm kind of like forcing myself to try to cook, so I don't have any food that's like ready in the fridge. So now I have to cook. Okay. What is the deal with this? Here, I'm gonna open this up in the new browser tab. I think I need to add a CSS reset to this. Actually, I feel like chat would be able to do this. That doesn't seem like nearly enough. Yeah. Okay, I'll just grab the actual, the real CSS reset file. Oh, well, that didn't fix it either. I swear, last time I ate like a whole head of lettuce, oh yeah, I was actually like still hungry enough to eat a whole pizza afterwards, and it was like a 16-inch pizza. It was a pretty large pizza. I don't know if lettuce actually does that much for the hunger. Okay, I'm gonna yoink my style sheet from another P5 project that I built. Oh, I guess I didn't solve that problem there either. Margin is 0. I wonder if this is a browser thing, because that is really like bothersome. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's find out which element is throwing hands. It's the HTML element? Actually, wait. Let's see what the. No, it wasn't the HTML element. It's the body element. Why does the body have a margin? Literally, it is set to 0. Oh, it's probably because my CSS is the wrong what's it called? Route. Yeah, because I don't have that route, that's why. Oh my gosh. Literally so silly. Okay. So now yeah, this is that's actually really sad. The thing's still it's still got the overflow, like the overscroll. Um why is that the case? Is this a sketch issue? Window.innerWidth.innerHeight. Yeah, maybe it is. Well, right now the canvas size is set to scale because it's set inside the sketch thing. Right here, this is supposed to scale to whatever the inner width, inner height is. Callback for Vercel's serverless functions taking too long to fetch a corrupted session. That's quite a lot of things going on. Custom body size, that's why. Yeah. Yeah, it was because the file wasn't picked up. um, I don't know what the issue with the canvas being too big still is. Well, I guess we could just roll with this for now. So let's see. Right now, P5 kind of just attaches to the main canvas. So there should be a way for us to actually wait. I think there's one more CSS thing that might be useful to add. Do we have anything on the canvas yet? We don't. Okay. There we go. Okay. Yeah, we just needed a little bit of canvas CSS. Oh, it's for the overflow. Hmm. Min-height, max. Min-height. Display items. Ah, okay. Well, either way, we figured it out. That is finally done. Let's actually get a little bit more stuff going on this page, yeah? So I think P5, where does P5 anchor itself? I guess we could just inspect the elements and see where it's anchored. So it just pops into the main. So if we were to put something else inside the main, like a h2 says, hello world, we can get this show up as the background. But let's actually see how that affects the DOM. Okay, so we've got this as a nice background. Let's see if we could try to get this to be in its own sort of like box. Actually, wait, let's see how this is built in the DOM tree. The h2 comes first. Okay, cool. So instead of making it full width, let's see if we can make it a bit smaller. We can actually delete these now. Let's just make this like 400 by 400 for now. And then we could actually grab some more relevant sizes later on. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So I've been kind of reading this on the side just now, to try to figure out how else to integrate this a little bit better. Because the normal way to integrate it is you just yoink the iframe and then you embed it, and it looks like that. So I guess show example of this. They actually have a, where is it? Open sketch. Is it sketch? Help? Edit? Huh? Do I need to save this? There it is. Share button. We can take an embed. Yoink that in here. Could try doing that, but then the embed, it loads separately, and then it also has this other stuff on the page, which is not optimal. We want it to be a bit bigger if we want it to be like interactive on our website. All right, bye 404. Always a pleasure having you on. I'll see you next time. Right. Okay, so this is the way that we normally do it. Actually, I wonder if we can just yoink the full screen, paste that in here. Oh, that is the full screen thing. Okay. We're not going to worry about that. Let's toggle this thing back in. I wonder if we can just pop this into an article, and then we can put a canvas in here if it will grab the canvas. Nope, it just puts it into its own thing. Let's see if there's a way to p5 change the anchor in HTML. It currently attaches to the bottom of main. This is the instance. The background of one section of my web page. Create canvas, canvas.parents, ID name of, oh, okay. So if we wanted to actually attach this to something else, like in here, it seems like all we need to do to attach it to a very specific thing is just add it to, yeah, let's just call it the sketch. D is equals sketch. Oh, I forgot to actually attach. Yeah, I just need to send it into a variable. Okay, let's see if that attached. There it is, baby. Okay. So with that said, if we were to just like take somebody else's HTML template, we could just like inject this in. So that shouldn't be too bad at all. Man, I'm like so hungry right now. It's actually kind of distracting. I should have grabbed a granola bar before this. Okay. So, I guess, what if we just took like a... I don't like it that the canvas is at the very top. DoorDash time. I know, right? Mm, it's okay. I'll just like cook something really quick between this stream and then my last stream, and then we'll be smooth sailing. What is it that I'm thinking about? Right now, what's kind of funny is that the canvas is all the way at the top, but I think that's editable in CSS, so we shouldn't have to worry about that. I already deleted these files, so we can just delete that. Let's see. Okay, so I think the next thing that we were actually, let's just commit this so that we have like a init p5 sketch from stream. Bam, bam. Okay. The next thing was to get the lettuce moving. And then we were thinking about making a new class for that. Lettuce.js. Structure. Let's just give it xy and then the radius. We'll give them all the same speed. I guess in the constructor, we could just call in our movement function over here. X speed is equal to random -1. We don't want it random speed. We want it to be constantly moving. So let's make a new function. Let's just call this move. And then so it'll take the current one. We don't need a parameter in here because we're just going to be moving the lettuce. This dot x minus equals 1. Sure. The y should stay the same. We actually, let's just set this to be equal to, I guess, let's see, how far down is the Pac-Man right now? The Pac-Man is at 50-50. Actually, yeah, we'll keep the y here. This dot y does not change. This dot x does change. move. We wanted to move every frame. Then move. What was the way that they did this? It was frame counts. So that means, actually, no, I think if we just do a minus equals, that should be fine. Why is this throwing hands? Oh. Oh, right. Class functions inside JavaScript, you don't need to define it as function, blah, blah, blahs. Okay. So let's actually import in lettuce. Lettuce.js. Now let's spawn in some lettuce. Oh, right. I didn't actually spawn the lettuce yet. Okay. So that doesn't seem like it's working right now. I wonder if we just need it in a different order. No. Use the clock. Yeah. All right. We're gonna pop in the clock. Well, the thing is that like it's not even spawning right now, which is the silly thing. Let's see if we can get it to spawn first before we start worrying about the clock. The lettuce. That should have just spawned a new lettuce, yeah? See what the console says. Class constructor cannot be invoked without new. I see. I missed the most fundamental part. Okay. Uh, let lettuce equals lettuce. Draw lettuce. Do I need to do anything with that? Oh, equals new lettuce. Okay, there we go. So now we can actually figure out how to incorporate the clock. So I think what we can do is if we were to do move, we could actually just make it x minus equals 1. Pop back over here. Let us stop move. Okay, so in here, now we can incorporate our clock stuff. Because we could make this smooth. Let's just make it a smooth thing for now. this dot x is greater than 0. This dot x minus equals 1. That only moves it once. No, that should just keep moving it. I think what we need to do is we need to, whoa, redraw it. No, that's not it. What is it that we're missing? Yeah, the spawn issue. Okay, let's just move the clock function in here then. I wonder. What am I thinking? Because normally inside the draw loop, like this thing gets cycled constantly. Like this thing is its own like loop, right? So if we're trying to move something, that should have just been doing the -1 the entire time. So why would we need to have minus equals 1? I swear we all we need to do is just this. Like, yeah, it does it instantly. But the X value should be changing the entire time. You sleep? Well, I guess we could. Oh my gosh. Wait, I thought I could just use sleep just like that. Wait. I don't think that's the solution. That's too complicated for this, for the way that this normally works. Okay, so if we were to go into like P5, where is it? I think this is the one, right? Yeah. And then we were to just take the lettuce, and then we were to just say plus equals frame count, or plus t. Let's just do plus t. Okay. So then the problem is that we need to have a global. Yeah, we have the t. We have the clock. What we need to do is we just need to have the plus t in here, or minus t. I don't know if it's going to see it in the scope. Oh, it is. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I guess it is Python. Okay, man, I think we overthought this a little bit. Okay. Let's actually get the lettuce to be on the same level as the Pac-Man. So we've got the backgrounds, cool, cool. We've got Pac-Man on the X. Let's just let X is equal to 50. And then the lettuce, the first one is the X. The second one is the Y. Well, actually, no, we want it to be on the same Y. Right. Y plus Y divided by 2. That should put it like halfway. Cool. Let's make this a bit smaller. Let's make this like, let's make this 48. And then we actually have to scale the R, the text size based off of the R. Okay, cool. We're also going to need to make the X probably a lot further. Less further. Okay, and then the next thing is to actually time it. Yeah, a clock was needed. You were right, I admit it. Um, let's see. I wonder if we could, if we have multiple. We would need to do the wait, like the async thing. There's probably another way to do it without the async though. We might have to have a separate clock for, or separate start clock for each one. Reverse Pac-Man animation if statements. Oh, right. Well, that's not very satisfying right now. We need to spice it up. But what is it that we're missing right now? I think it needs to spawn from further away. I don't think we should reset it after just 100. Maybe we should reset it after 200. Let's see. This thing is resetting. Wait, I don't even need the clock function in here. That didn't change anything. I need to change the clock function out here. Because this should change the duration for how long it moves. That also messed up the Pac-Man animation. So let's just mod this by 50. Oh wait, that shouldn't help with that at all. If we've got the clock, if it is 50, that clock mod 100. There we go. And then now we can just spawn the lettuce from 6 times away. Five times? How is the lettuce.js still able to access the clock's T? So the reason why is because JavaScript is kind of like single-threaded. And so anything that has like that is included in the, or at least like in vanilla with the specific tech stack. I don't know if this is consistent with everything else. From my understanding, is that all of this JavaScript stuff, it runs in the same like shell environments. Like in Python, if you were to import something, um, like at the beginning of the script, and then, well, I mean, it's still going to be there because like everything in the environment variables are still active. That was a terrible explanation. Uh, I guess like easier like visual way to see it is, okay, if I were to do this npm run build, it's going to take all of my files. Whoop. Okay, let's actually add that. And it's basically going to combine these two into a single file. And so the reason why that Vite does this is it makes it easier to send as like one file, so that's like an optimization thing. But the reason why this works is because like JavaScript just oh my gosh, words. JavaScript is single threaded, so anytime you include one function inside of Sketch, especially since this comes first, Lettuce is able to see the same things, since in Sketch the files here, or I guess the functions here, aren't like privately scoped, they're publicly scoped. Yeah. Yeah, basically it's a single container. So even in here, without all of the, what? Wait, how did I break it? Did I change anything besides running the? Oh, come on. Oh, is it because I added the module? Yeah, it was because I added the module. Yeah. I think we should make the Pac-Man bite a little faster. Okay, that feels a little better. Okay, so we got another 15 minutes. Should figure out what else we can do. What else is there to do? I guess one other thing we could try doing is we could try moving the canvas so that it doesn't spawn in the top left corner. But I guess that's just a CSS thing, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's a fixed position thing. So if we were to just remove that, yeah, it just moves to wherever it is that we put it. So we could toss this into, if I were to use Pico CSS, pop in here, grab the layout container, main class container. And then, well, I actually have to grab the CDN, pop that in here. Okay, cool. So yeah, we can very nicely box that up into its own thing. We didn't even make a stream of lettuce. I guess we could, as the next thing, just make a stream of lettuce. Lettuce 2. And then instead of spawning at 5, we could spawn it at 4. Lettuce 2. Yeah, so now we can have multiple at the same time. Next thing would be to make it so that they actually stopped whenever they were nearby the Pac-Man, which means that we'd have to start figuring out the, what's it called? Like collisions. Now the lettuce is behind. Move the lettuce behind the Pac-Man. Oh, okay. I think all we would need to do is just that. Yeah. Oh, that does look a lot better. Oh my gosh. Okay. Maybe let's like half that. Let's actually just make this a smaller box. Make this a little nicer. You know what? Maybe let's while we're here, let's just make an array for this. Lettuces equals an array. What's the easiest? I swear there's a really easy way for us to do this. Can you make an array of lettuce and then move all of them? Yeah, it's cheating a little bit. I want to see if this works. Okay. Why does it stop push? Here. You know what? Just for you, we're going to program this by hand. We're going to make this an infinite stream of lettuce. Okay, so we've got this going on. Let me collapse this because this is a little distracting. Okay, let's call this a lettuce stream. Okay, we'll move this down into this. And then we'll call lettuce stream right in here. Now, as far as the X and Y goes for this, we'll do X, Y. We'll copy and paste that in here. The X and the Y, we'll just pop in the X and the Y over here. And then 48 was just like the arbitrary size. So we'll make that R again. Okay, so now we've got a single lettuce. So let's go in here for let's I is equal to 0. I is less than, yeah, let's just do 10. I don't need to push anyone. We're going to do this very classic Java style because that is the easiest way for me to program when I'm freeballing it. Lettuce's I is equal to, bam. bam, x plus equals r. Oh, yeah, okay, that's just the distance. And then we'll want to actually take each of the lettuces, and then we want to move them. Okay. So right now, the problem is that it's not infinite right now, and they spawn too far off screen. So this is the spawn point over here. Why don't we reduce the spawn points to like 4? It is kind of bothering me that Pac-Man's bytes aren't like full bytes. I'm gonna just hold up. Wait, how did we close the byte again? Byte size. Ah, I think it was over here. Okay. So now we just have to make it be a more continuous stream. We needed to stop it from resetting so soon. This dot text, this dot y. I don't think it's a problem with the class. We could just make the clock run longer. Let's make it run for 600. Okay, so the problem right now is that it is... Yeah. A little bit. The problem now is that we would need to make it so that the lettuce despawns once it hits the 50. So what we can do is we could add that inside the lettuce, I think. Okay, so when the lettuce if this dot x is greater than the width, no, if this dot x is less than or equal to the position of where Pac-Man is, which is at 50-50, so at 50, then we can just set this to be, or maybe we just return. We just return nothing so that it doesn't actually spawn the thing. If this dot x is less than equal to 50, well, I don't want it to spawn anymore, that's the thing. It shouldn't exist anymore. Well, I guess what we could do is we could take the text size. Make that 0. No, let's still not doing anything. I think it is. Oh, sorry, I missed your comments. Add a stationary black square between the Pac-Man and the lettuces. Oh. Yeah. This dot x is. Oh, I need to flip it the other way. Let's try this real quick. Otherwise, we'll just do the hacky way. Lol. Wait. It just like stopped. Basically, just reset this dot x. Well, if it's like this. Oh, yeah, you're right. This should just be back to whatever the stream is. So the stream start, we're going to hard code this a little bit. It's x times 4. Okay, we're gonna restart this. Okay. So if it's because there's a minus t in here. That's why I wasn't catching it. It's because the t is the thing that's moving, not the x. That's why nothing was moving. Okay, so that means if this dot x minus t is less than 50, then this dot x plus x times 4, I guess, for now. All these like weird maths. Why did that break everything? Wait, all the whole like stream just like started all funny. Wait, what's going on? This dot x is equal to. Well, the thing is that the. Oh, actually, wait. This dot x times 4. Less than equals. You're a genius. I'm so sorry. I'm so goofy. I completely messed that up. Okay, but we got it. We got it. I'm a little dense sometimes. I appreciate you for helping out. I've never touched Java, I swear. Or JavaScript. So are you just like a Python dev then? um, there we go. That's actually like really good timing too, because we're just about at the end of the stream. So we actually this is actually kind of satisfying to watch. This is well, you 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 were dev enough to help me troubleshoot this animation, and I appreciate that. Well, I'm glad you were able to help me get this thing over my like in my head. Awesome. I know we actually got it working, right? This is really rad. I'm gonna copy this, also update it in here because this thing's not updated yet. Whoa. Yeesh. Okay, I will fix that off stream. But yeah, I'll probably set this up so that there's like a GitHub pages. That way, if you want to just like admire this thing at your own time on your phone or something, you can. I'll also update the P5 link, and everything will be posted on the what's it called? The usual Jamstack resources repo that I have. So yeah. If you join the stream, feel free to add an emoji to your Discord handle. That helps send a signal to me that you were at my stream. The lettuces later on are not synced. Try increasing the offsets. Oh wow, you're right. Wait. Okay, we need to fix that. That is really unsatisfying. Okay, so the offset. I feel like it starts off. Wait, let's see. It starts off kind of on pace, right? One, two, three. Okay. I think the problem is that they're moving at a different rate from the bytes. Uh, we'd have to math this. Send the link to the repo. Yeah, absolutely. So this is the Pacman repo that we've been working on stream, which I'll also attach to the jam hack. No, not the clock. I know, right? Unfortunately, a lot of animations are built around the clock timer. Uh, okay. This dot y. Oh, it's just moving every second. So how long does it take for? How long does it take for? Okay, so we've got a 600-second timer. We've got however many ticks it takes for us to move from one side of the screen to the other. And so right now that is currently, I guess the width of the screen is about 50 times 4, I believe, is what we have for where the start of the lettuce stream is. Yeah, so it's 50 times 4, which is 200. So it takes about 200 ticks for us to cross the thing. And so the bites happen every 25 seconds. But the lettuce takes about 200, or I guess we're gonna call it 200 ticks. Bites every 200 ticks. 25 ticks each one plus 48. Oh yeah, you're right. It's the 48 to 50, and then that should just solve everything. Yeah, it was 100% just the R. That's so silly. I did not need to put the maths on there. Well, thank you for joining me on stream, everybody. Y'all were awesome. Whoop. Um, thanks for putting up with the brokenness of my ability to code live on stream. Y'all were a lot of fun to work with. So I'll actually be streaming again. Actually, wait, it's time to shout out the next stream, which should be let's take a look here. The next stream is we're here. Intro to machine learning. It is at now. Okay, so I gotta end the stream so that y'all can join the next one. Yeah, only real coding happens on this stream. I'm glad you all had a lot of fun. But yeah, make sure to send who's running the next one. Send Steven a lot of love. Please add the YouTube channel in the MLH about section too. Nah, I appreciate the interaction. Okay, I don't know if add the YouTube channel link in MLH, the about section 2 of Twitch. Oh, on here? The about section on Twitch. Oh, as in like on the twitch.mlh. We don't have the YouTube thing there. Okay. I will go and ask the team to do that. All right. Is that not problematic between Twitch and YouTube? Streaming on both things? It's not too big of a thing. StreamYard allows us to stream on both. Yeah. Okay. I'll see if we can get it added. I don't have admin permissions on the Twitch account, so I'll just ask somebody else on the team to do that. Okay. I gotta go now though, so I will see you all very, very soon. Uh, cheers.